Hello and welcome to Seems Like Me. It has been a minute, and for the video listeners, you're probably confused with the setup. I didn't feel like sitting anywhere else. Didn't even feel like doing my hair. Didn't even feel like getting dressed because I like getting dressed for these sort of things. So today I think I have something semi-important to talk to you about. I'm going to clean out my head, and maybe this will give you some ideas of your own because going into the new year, I know we're already in March, but going into the new year, you're probably at the point of where you want your year to go. Or maybe things have already happened and you're already making decisions on your New Year's resolution. You know what I'm saying? The year has started, we're in the routine already. So my routine was to basically figure out who I was, right? So that's what that my New Year's resolution was, to get out of my head. So I'm going to tell you what I did, currently am doing, and what I will do, maybe? Yeah, that makes sense. I had already written the outline for this episode. I rewrote it because the old one is a mess, like my head was. And is it still kind of a mess? Yes, obviously, but it will get better. And it has already improved immensely. The original outline had two titles. It was something slash something. That if that doesn't prove what was going on, I don't know what does. But anyway, I discarded it because I have a different view. Since this year has started, I have been on this like soul searching, existential crisis, finding inner peace, etc., defining who I am. That has been what I've been dealing with, and I'm learning about myself. I'm at a place where I think I can talk about it, kind of what I'm doing, and just like I've been challenging myself. I've been working through grief. I've been jumping through hurdles, and I've been doing it since last year. So it's not exactly like, oh, just January 1st started my journey. No, I've been doing this for a while. So I'm learning about myself. So my New Year's resolution is not to overthink as much, get out of my head. And I actually have improved quite a bit. Obviously, overthinking and people pleasing will never fully end, but I'm better at it. I'm catching myself when I'm beginning to spiral and overthink, and I'm like, oh, wait, maybe that person doesn't think that, and maybe I think that that person thinks that, which is really awesome because I feel more confident in my sense of self, and I don't really care what people are saying about me, and it makes me feel much more at ease. I feel more peaceful. I can do things without feeling judged. Of course, I feel kind of lonely because I'm not like tripping over myself to talk to people, but I can talk to people comfortably without overthinking it, and if they want to see me again, they want to see me again. As a people pleaser, I want everybody to like me, and I think that gets me a lot of friends. And then I found out, oh, maybe if I don't care, it'll make me a lot of friends. I really don't think that that should be my pursuit. I think I should focus on, liking myself and like keeping people around that actually like me and don't make me worry. So anyway, I don't care what people think. There's more conversation there about friends and that, but maybe that's another time. See, I ramble. I overthink what I'm saying. So anyway, I'm realizing that my mood doesn't depend on whether or not this person likes me. Like, my life doesn't depend on somebody liking me or me pleasing somebody and keeping everybody happy. Because sometimes making somebody upset can be better for them. Like breaking up with somebody, telling somebody no, it can open a different door, a different window, if that makes sense. Hi, this is me editing. 100% what I meant in this clip was that something that is great for you can be bad for somebody else and vice versa. For example, if you're in a relationship and you know it's not working out and you don't want to lead this person on, you should probably break up with them. And in the long run, it'll be good for both of you, even though there will be some temporary hurt. Anyway, just wanted to clarify and explain that a little more. And also, I know I made an episode about people of the past, and I think it would be best not to try to get into the one friend group full of people that I went to school with and like just kind of give up on wanting to be on the inside and instead talk to those people every once in a while if they want to talk to me, because I've already tried to get into that friend group for years. So why would I keep trying? But also, as an overthinker, it kind of has a core of like comparing myself to others. So, when you have people that are getting invited, like going out, having these big friend groups, and I don't have those things. I'm like, oh, that's what I want. I want the shiny hair. I want the cool Instagram pictures. And it makes me overthink, like, maybe if I was this way, maybe if this, and then it makes me worry about what other people think. And it makes me think everybody hates me, whatever. And so the solution to all of this is self love and not caring what people think. And I'm kind of in a slow journey of it. And I'm seeing changes, like I will keep saying this whole episode, but I need to stop comparing myself. Some days are harder than others. I need to get off TikTok and stop seeing gorgeous, gorgeous girls lip sync to the most perfect song, wear the most perfect outfit. But I am slowly progressing, and I will talk about self love a little bit more later. But let me share a quote that I heard, that I saw on TikTok. And I know I found it on TikTok. Do not take it seriously. I don't know who said it. It's just a little stupid little quote. It probably had a Taylor Swift song over it. The less you care, the more you live. And I'm kind of feeling that. So I need to keep up what I'm doing, and I need to not cry in my bed and get mad at the mirror. Anyway, that's the quote. If I care less, I will be able to, not spiral, maybe appreciate the people who are there more, and, be more blunt, ask people, what's going on? I feel this way. Can you help me not feel that way? But anyway, I need to not care and love myself and be okay with all the beautiful parts of me. Who cares about my cringeness as a kid? It's the main reason I feel like people don't like me. And you know what? That's not who I am. So who cares? Who cares if I used to watch crazy YouTube videos? Who cares if I make a podcast? Who cares? I don't see anybody hunting me down with a pitchfork. So now my existential crisis for this year kind of didn't start here, but it kind of made a checkpoint in my little self-love journey. I had my birthday recently. By recently, I mean like 2 months ago, but I had my birthday and I love my birthday. But my year always starts with my birthday. It's nice. It sets the tone for the year. I used to say if I had a bad birthday, I had a good year. And if I had a good birthday, I had a bad year. But I don't think that's necessarily true. I just think that it sets the tone, because how I feel on my birthday is probably like how I feel about myself. And I felt great on my birthday, and I made it about hanging out with my friends, did my hair up, and I made it about me, not in like a selfish way, but I kind of wanted to celebrate where love is in my life and is currently living, if that makes sense. The active love in my life, which is through my friends, through myself. And that is what I wanted to focus on. Everyone says they cry on their birthday. They think about getting older. I wasn't worried about getting older. I'm excited to get older. I know that age is like something a lot of people struggle with. I kind of don't. Maybe I will one day, but that's a different topic. But I feel like my birthday kind of made me realize, oh, I do need to focus on myself, focus on my friends, focus on my school, my work, my art, like stuff like that. And I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad that I came to that conclusion, because I'm doing it. I'm being a basic white girl and going to Pilates every week. I'm going to the gym, I'm weightlifting, I'm hiking, I'm finding these new things that I love, and still appreciating the old little parts of me. And I think that's kind of what a birthday is. It's just kind of like realizing who you are and how far you've come. And speaking of like appreciating the parts of me, I really had to start from the ground up of like how I view myself and how I view the world and how my personality looks. I think that is part of growing up. But right now, it is really scary for me to abandon what I knew about myself to discover who I am. It's because I kind of oppressed parts of me that I was and loved, like my interests and stuff from like my early teen years going into high school, because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be in the group. And I was always seen as weird and annoying. Yeah, okay. And I like was still perceived that way up until I graduated, and I didn't know why, because I abandoned those things that I loved, and I kind of started to hate those things. When I hear somebody likes something that I used to like, I'm like, ugh. then I realized I used to like that. Why am I judging? Why do we hate the cringe old parts of ourselves? It's fun. It's funny. We were free, whatever. I like watching old videos of myself. I can't sit through them, but I think sometimes they're hilarious to look at and laugh with somebody about it. But I don't want to be made fun of. Like, that's not what I'm actively doing. That's not what I'm actively liking. But it's also because I kind of like forced myself not to like those things anymore. And so I've been kind of trying to appreciate those things. And it's been hard because it's like, oh, that's not who I am. I don't need to keep running from it. I'm someone completely different now. Who cares? So I've kind of been viewing myself in these metaphors of like comparing my life to like a endless hallway museum, and I can go back down the hallway for the nostalgia's sake, be like, oh, I really like this, but the artist improved further down and changed something and started painting something different. Does that make sense? It like doesn't help me a ton because it's still hard for me to let go of my perception of myself. I'm still perceiving myself as being 13. I know I'm not 13. I know, but I'm still like, yeah, I'm really embarrassed because I like stupid things, but I don't like those things anymore and they're not stupid. Okay. Anyway, I don't know. I'm talking about my interests a lot. It's just, but the point of the museum is like what I said, like the nostalgia. I can go back and look, but I'm still adding different art pieces. Like things will collect dust and age, but I don't have to show that as my best work anymore or some as something to define me. Does that make sense? I mean, everything taught me something that I have now, and I think that's the most exciting part. Yay! And I also think it's like the beauty of growing up. Yay! Again. Yay again. In accepting my old interests, not caring what people think, like having to not compare myself, it starts with self love. I'm working on it and I can see myself loving myself more, and that's really exciting. Like being single and like loving myself. It's so nice. And I really need to, as much as I want like a partner and to go on dates and have someone to call every day and update and like hang out with, like that's fun, but like I need to do this, and I feel like I would be doing a disservice to a partner if I was doing this and dating. Not saying that you can't do those things at the same time, but I feel like for me, I'd have to not have someone to run to if I was feeling down. You know what I mean? Like I need to do it myself. Then I will let someone, you know what I mean? Do you hear that cringy thing where it's like, before you can love someone, you have to love yourself? I guess that's kind of what I'm doing, but whatever. Anyway, self love. Dealing with grief has led me to being pretty depressed. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I was grieving all last year. Sometimes I still am. If you are dealing with grief, I 100% recommend counseling or telling a family member, telling a friend. Like, I have trouble reaching out, even as an emotionally aware person. People say I'm pretty sensitive. I'm an open book. You know what I mean? I share a lot, but I still have a hard time, saying when I'm struggling. But so I want to say that before I talk more about this. But I was dealing with grief and it made me feel sorry for myself. It made me spiral and overthink more. And it's kind of hard to work on self love when you're experiencing bereavement. This year, instead of continuing to grieve and feel alone and then like beat myself up over everything, um I wanted to go in with the motivation to explore self-love, and I was trying to work on this at the end of 2025, you know what I mean? And once again, New Year's resolutions don't start at January 1st, but I've been trying new things, talking to new people, because my extrovert self runs on conversation and talking and trying new things. Um, I used to be very proud of my spontaneity, and it kind of died a little bit, and so I'm trying to bring those parts back to me. Being around people is a temporary high. I know that. So I've been going to the gym. I've been watching more shows. I've been journaling, writing, etc., etc. Things that I do alone, puzzles. I would love to read, but I've been having a hard time reading because I've been so busy with like homework and stuff. Maybe I will have more free time soon as the semester ends and I'll get to read. What will I read? Probably The Hunger Games. I'm still on the third book, still behind. Never read it before. I've never read Hunger Games before, and I read it last year. I read the first book in a week. Second book took me longer. Third book, I'm still on it. I'll figure it out. But it's important to me to have a good sense of self. So I think that that starts at self love, and I really want to work on it. I really want to focus on myself, and I don't have it figured all out yet. Maybe I'll update you later in the year about how I'm doing, how I'm feeling about myself. And I hope that if you are, kind of working on self love, that you are able to find some, inner peace and some things that make you feel like yourself. Me, I feel like myself when I talk into a microphone and ramble and probably say something that means nothing to you. That was like a self-deprecating joke. Okay. No more self-deprecating jokes. Maybe. I don't know. But I feel most like myself when I'm watching YouTube videos, making YouTube videos, gosh. But I feel most like myself when I do like hobbies that I've done my whole life or new hobbies, or like revisiting old ones, maybe for a day. Like, oh, wait, I haven't watched this YouTuber since I was 10 years old. This is so funny. I used to like this. Oh my gosh. Like that helps you like connect closer with yourself. Like I guess the inner child thing helps you connect closer to yourself. I don't know. I'm not an expert. This is just like what I've been dealing with. And yeah, I don't know. Like I like walking down the toy aisle sometimes when I'm like hanging out with friends in Walmart. We've all done it, okay? Or going to the park with my friends, going hiking with my friends, talking, playing new games. I've been playing a lot of games, like the 10 game where I say 1, the next person says 2, so on until 10, and then the person who doesn't say 10 has to like change one of the numbers. Like that game is very fun. Like I scheduled going to a national park with my friend recently. I'm going on a trip to the beach soon with like some people I don't know, with like a few friends, and I'm going on another trip to the beach with my friend later in the summer. I'm doing things that are fun. I might download Duolingo and learn a language. I might. Like I'm learning sign language right now, but I mean Duolingo does not have sign language. And maybe I should learn Spanish. I didn't take Spanish in high school. Maybe it's time to learn a little bit. Okay? I don't know anything. I know sí, I know agua. I do not know a lot of Spanish. And I dated a guy who could speak Spanish. Darn it. It's time to learn Spanish, guys. So you're trying new things, picking up new things, living life. That's how you end up loving yourself. Anyway, but I'm doing well right now, I think. I'm kind of in a little limbo state right now. I'm not doing very much. I've also been alone for this whole weekend, and it drives me nuts when I'm alone. But I've been just kind of working through some things, and I've been getting better. I'm productive. I'm kind of on top of things. I'm not as sad as I was last year, a couple months ago even, which is really exciting. I know maybe you don't care, but things get better, guys. They do. And I don't want to like lie to you. Things get better. Have a little optimism and hopefulness, and journal, talk about it. But I have a lot of things to organize, and I still have so much more to work on. And I know things will get better after this point. Things just will keep going up. And will things maybe fluctuate a little more? Yeah. I have a lot of small goals that I need to get done, and I feel more like myself right now. I saw a video once where someone said that we should see growth like how a tree grows. And you know how a tree has like those spirals, and like when you chop down a tree you can see like how old a tree is? It's kind of like that. A tree has like a little knot, I think it's called, or like a little eye. I don't know, I'm not a tree expert. What is it called? What is a tree expert called? Arborist? I'm not an arborist. We're spiraling out, and then maybe something bad happens and it gets us a little loop. Well, then we have to come back and maybe we got to revisit it. But over time, we get back and we're not like jumping back over the loop. Does that make sense? Imagine you draw a circle, or imagine you start your spiral and then, there's a little bump in your road. You're going to bump up a little and then you're going to keep going, and then you got to revisit it. You gotta bump up a little, and then eventually it smooths out. We have to revisit some pain sometimes, but eventually it won't hurt as bad. I don't know. It's a little hopeful. It's a little millennial optimism of me. I'm not a millennial, but it's just, I don't know. I'm still gonna explore myself, and you're still gonna explore yourself, and it's so beautiful. And I just I just think that life is beautiful and it's short, and we should learn about ourselves, and we should try to work through our pain, and we should, have the tough conversations. Avoid the people who have hurt us, but maybe we don't want to let go, and we can forgive those people, and we can find new people, new things that define us now. And the old things were who we are, but we're a completely different person now. Our tree spiral is so far away from the center. Unless you're a baby, then you're at the center. I need to chill out, be blunt, maybe tell and ask others how I feel. It'll help me not overthink. Just lay it all out there, basically. Like, I can still move on and be happy if someone's mad at me. Who cares? Find peace alone and cherish moments with others. Yeah, so this is a short episode, but I gotta get back there somehow. Okay, bye. Love you. Stay cool. Love yourself.